Hey guys, welcome back to the FairDinkum podcast. Today we had a chill episode for you. We had the honor of having Ahmed from behind the camera join Suhail, Willie and I on the episode. We got to speak about MMA, we got to speak about Kanye West, Andrew Tate, everything that's been going on recently. We got to speak about the Muslim community. Are we a judgmental or supportive community? Cancel culture. You guys are going to enjoy the episode. But before you watch it, remember to like, comment and subscribe and enjoy.
Shape of an actual hand.
So it goes into your whole
like
arm.
a sleeve, like yeah.
So you can basically hold your purse like that.
It's not a handbag, it's a sleeve bag.
It's a sleeve bag basically. You put your whole sleeve into it, all that kind of stuff.
Piss, bro.
But the thing
I'm
is,
sorry, that whole fashion she's taking the piss.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
Nah, come on, bro. It's creative.
Do you reckon they're taking the piss?
Bro. That's what they
Come
say.
on, bro. If I dress
It's
up as a
creative and
chair
art.
tomorrow, yeah, and I go around saying, bro, but listen,
yeah,
I'm different.
yeah,
That's fashion.
yeah. True.
Come on, bro. You're taking the piss.
Elon Musk and Twitter. You sent a message this morning.
Oh yeah, did you guys see the acquisition for Twitter? So now he officially bought out Twitter for 44
Apparently, fired a lot of people as well.
billion. Yeah, so
If I had the CEO of tonight,
Yeah.
CEO.
I saw a photo, a guy holding a box. Like, he actually got fired. You know how you see shows of people walking out with the box and stuff? That shit happened.
Elon is an actual vibe. Well, when this guy rocks up into what's called Twitter headquarters with a sink, yeah, with an actual sink, yeah, and mind you, he's been trolling Twitter for about like a whole 2 years now, and every stage he'll get worse and worse, and then as a joke, he'll be like, "I'm gonna buy Twitter," so then after he'll go buy Twitter, something will work out in the financial whatever in the contract or something like that. Something will change up, and then what happens is Twitter doesn't want to give it to him or something along those lines. He needs money to finance it, yeah, like actual dollars. I don't know why. So he'll go make a candle or something, a cologne, yeah, and he'll start selling it to people just so they can help him buy it. So on the day that he bought Twitter, yeah, he rocks up with a sink, yeah, into Twitter headquarters, and he goes, "Let this sink in," yeah, and he walks into the place with an actual sink. I'm like, this guy takes the absolute. You know what he is, bro? This guy is literally us. Like, he's a troll in a billionaire form. You know, he's got so many companies and he's taking a piss at the actual same time.
But even buying Twitter, like it's like buying Meta or Facebook now. It's like it's so big.
Yeah.
It's like you can't do that.
But I agree
So
with why he bought Twitter.
Why did
Because
he
of
buy
the
it?
whole cancel culture thing,
Cancel
pretty much.
culture,
He
yeah.
goes, he just wants to create a platform or allow a platform where, I guess,
Both
you know
sides.
how like you can go to different shops for different needs? You know what I mean? There's different sides of Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, like if you don't want to see that, he goes, obviously everything with moderation. You can't say things without consequences. Yeah. But also you can't, like Jordan Peterson's banned off of Twitter. I don't know what remark that he made. Yeah.
oh, he's on the ropes now anyway, but carry on.
Well, what happened with him?
Muhammad put him on the ropes, bro.
You did?
Oh, I
He
did
goes,
not say that.
What do you mean by do? What do you mean by you? What do you mean by believe? And what do you
That,
mean by God? I'm
bro.
like, bro, you are
Oh,
a
is this when he
raider,
asked him, would you become Muslim?
would you believe in God? Yeah,
Yeah, would you
he's
believe in
like,
God?
Well, dude, you know, but bro, you're an aerator. cuz.
Because it's
Yeah.
such a simple
God.
question he can't answer, and he's trying to dissect each word. Like, how do you
With
think like that?
It's not a simple. It's a simple question, but not a simple answer. So that's the thing. But
Yeah,
finish on your Elon Musk because I want to know why he bought it.
Maybe he's a good answer, bro.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so
I don't know the future.
yeah.
It sounds like, did you believe in God? No, but here are my reasons. You know, just say that. But yeah, you can finish.
Okay, carry on, bro.
Yeah, he just created he just wanted to buy a platform because Twitter is like one of them. I think it's like the number one, I guess, news platforms in the world. You know what I mean? So obviously, like with the rise of social media and all that kind of stuff, and the rise of misinformation, cancel culture, he wants to create an environment where you can sort of check information, but not censor it completely. Because you know, with the move of like this whole censorship movement with cancel culture, and on top of that, you can't just ban people for no reason. You know, like Kanye, when he went on his whole like rant and all that kind of stuff, before even making any anti-Semitic comments, this is before the whole anti-Semitic thing was banned.
I think Donald Trump's banned as well.
Donald Trump's banned.
So these guys, do you reckon they'll be coming back?
Donald Trump, I agree with him
Yeah,
being
Elon
banned. though.
Musk, he said everyone that was banned is gonna get
Not
unbanned.
everyone.
Oh, he said that everyone.
No,
Like
he-
those who are
Maybe he means like every big figure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's not going to just bring back everyone. He's going to do it.
This guy's
Like,
this
case by
guy's
case,
banter,
like-
bro.
He's banter, bro. He
45
can't,
billion, like
he
it's
can't have a
nothing.
serious conversation. This guy, because he's got what SpaceX,
SpaceX.
There you go, yeah.
SpaceX. What has he got? Tesla
Yeah.
and all these other companies
Yeah,
or whatever.
he's got solar cities and stuff like. He's got all these revenue sources that.
And now
he
he's got
in-
Twitter.
invests
But the
in.
first thing he did, went into Twitter headquarters, and got rid of the CFO and the CEO straight off the bat. And the CFO, or if I'm not wrong, was the person basically that led to Trump being banned off of what's called Twitter. So yeah, Donald
Well,
Trump's
the thing
not
is,
back.
if you you know,
But do you agree with that? Do you agree with Donald Trump? I think him getting deplatformed was a good thing.
Why?
what if he becomes
Why?
president again in a couple of years?
No,
That's
no,
like-
but the thing is, you have to understand when there's direct consequences for something that you've tweeted. Like for example, bro, did you see all those hillbillies breaking down that car?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that building called?
The right, Capitol Hill.
Bro, come on, bro. Like that's direct consequences of these guys. Beep. Yeah, he's effery, yeah. But like you sit there and you go to yourself, hang on, if there's direct consequences to giving somebody like this the platform to speak to millions, then maybe he should be deplatformed.
I
the thing is,
agree.
with
I agree.
consequences, like
Yeah.
Elon Musk does a tweet about stock or Bitcoin, and what happens? Goes through the roof.
Yeah.
There's consequences of that which affect people's lives completely.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind
Oh.
of thing where it's like people of any of these guys, same as Kanye,
Yeah.
obviously Donald Trump's on the same level. These guys of power and influence, whatever they say has consequences. Obviously, this is a
True.
negative, but it's
Yeah.
you know that's the tough thing where he's trying to maybe say, "I'll let everyone be free."
You know, but the thing with Donald Trump's case was, I agree, he should be deplatformed for the Capitol Hill thing. But the problem was, he was banned before that.
For that, yeah.
You know, so like for him having like direct effect on like I guess causing riots and people's lives at danger and all that kind of stuff. That's when you took your I guess free speech to a whole new level. You know what I mean? I can't go on Twitter and say, "Hey yo, like I disagree with Ashraf," and all my supporters come attack Ashraf's house
Sure,
type of
yeah.
thing. That's just inciting violence for no reason, especially on an innocent person.
That's
You know what I mean?
dangerous, yeah.
But let's just say Donald Trump says something that's against the status quo, then you can't get him off the platform. You know what I mean? And like in regards to the Elon, the stock thing, that's just people being stupid. You know what I mean? That's just social media psychology. You know what I mean? Because he'll tweet something about, he'll put an emoji of a dog, which will represent the token of the crypto. You know what I mean? The image that's on the actual token. And then the human psychology will be like, okay, cool. He's tweeting about something that's like, I guess, I don't know, some innuendo. Boom, let's all hop onto it type of thing. That you can't sort of, unless he's doing it actively, which he low-key was, then that's like,
Yeah,
fair enough type
Elon
of
knows
thing.
what he's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teaches me a lot about human behavior, but man,
it does.
Are you a Twitter person? Like,
I don't have Twitter.
Would you say?
yeah,
Would
but
you say like?
did you
when-
ever?
I did for like 3 months.
He made
'Cause
one
I
like
know
Al-Shabaab tweet that he got off.
That was crazy, yeah.
But would you say like when you say deplatforming, like social figures or whatever, but isn't it like you have to see both sides of the arguments?
Yeah, but
But
like,
like I know there's a levels of what you have to say for both sides of the arguments, but just shutting one side of that argument because that guy is right or you think is right, isn't it just a
give
bit
you
too
an
far?
example. I'll give you an example. Before Twitter, there was a guy called. Before Twitter, there was obviously radio and TV that was big, yeah, for information, media channels, whatever it is. There was a guy called Alan Jones in Sydney. He goes straight up on the radio and goes, "These Lebo dogs, these this, these that." This is at the time of Cronulla Riot in 2001. We need to go there, march down, and we need to tell them, take back our country. Da, da, da. And this, I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically more or less incited a riot from all of the Anglo-Saxon white Australian males and females, or whoever it is, that agree with his rhetoric, which is same thing with all these other guys. Like
Donald Trump and
Kanye,
that.
Donald Trump, they all have people that support them, like to the T, bro. These
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
says jump, they'll jump, and they'll say how high.
Yeah.
But when you look at, for example, these guys that say, listen, we need to be taking action, that's when you're like, right, okay, there's a direct consequence to the speech that or the rhetoric that you're putting out. So that's when it's dangerous to give somebody like that a platform, because you're causing harm to a people based off of that.
Or would you say you should give that person consequences after the situations happen because there's evidence of that happening, you know, like what he said or whatever? People will say, oh,
Well,
it's taken out of context and stuff like that.
Well-
For example, when the Andrew Tate, he got deplatformed quick, people will say he's a misogyny, he's this, he's that. And when people ask him, what did he say to make him that person? They say, this
Difference
stuff was
between-
taken out of context, right?
Prevention is better than cure for one reason, yeah. It's because if you can foresee this guy, if he's been like, if he obviously has an influence on a population of society, and you can see that what he says is actually rings true for a lot of people, and a lot of people can, you know, they jump on board with what he says, you know, and for for what that's worth, you can see, for example, when he does a call to arms or call to action, a lot of people will take it serious. A lot of people will therefore like,
Who's doing call to arms?
like just for example, like
Yeah.
in history, you've had like Hitler who done it. You also have like I don't know, like all these guys like just look at Donald Trump, bro. Look at
Yeah,
Donald
yeah.
Trump, like Capitol Hill, bro. That's
Yeah.
enough for people to understand.
Mm.
There's an influence that people have with the words that they speak, and that people follow them without even asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
They just think that this guy is some sort of
Yeah.
a messiah, and they just run with it.
True.
Yeah, and human behavior is to follow sometimes. So
Naturally, yeah.
you see them follow, bro.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like you look at, for example, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, I've never heard him say, oh, I might be wrong, I've never heard him say, belt your wife, beat her up, bash her. You know, women deserve to be kicked in the head. Women deserve this, women deserve that. I've never heard that before. I don't know if you guys have. But
No, I haven't.
he's basically said, listen, you need to treat people, or you need to be acting in this way. You know, and this is because of human psychology. This is because of the way I've dealt with things in my past and my da-da-da, which is not me justifying what he said. If he said anything wrong, then obviously that's
Yeah.
not on me, bro. It's not on.
You're only talking about what you know.
I'm talking about from
yeah.
what I've known or from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I've seen, he basically says things like, he does say things that are taken out of context.
Yeah.
And he can improve the way he communicates, but
Yeah.
deplatforming the bloke is a bit odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should he have been deplatformed?
No.
Do you reckon?
Well,
Not
I'm
at all.
outside.
I don't think so.
Okay.
For now, I don't think so.
So you reckon people should basically be deplatformed when it gets to a point where they're inciting some sort of, I guess, not only physical violence, but some sort of hate rhetoric to
Oh.
a certain group?
Or just like
Like-
an increased whatever stat. Like let's just say there's this increased stat of woman abuse has risen because of what Andrew Tate said. Then they should get deplatformed.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be able to prove. Yeah, if you
I
can
prove
prove
that's
that,
evidence that he
if you
said
can
that and
prove
it's
that,
actually
yes,
happening.
100% deplatformed.
Yeah,
The
obviously.
call to action, like you said. Yeah.
That I can agree with, but taking stuff out of context, like for 1 minute, like whatever, a clip or stuff like that, and you
Yeah.
say that's evidence, but where's the whole video where you explain why he said that? Because Andrew Tate or some of these celebrities or politicians, they do an attention grab. They say one crazy thing, people come and look at them. Now they want to explain everything, but nah, I didn't come for the explanation. I just came for what you said. Let me
Yeah.
do what you just said.
Yeah, but
You know what I
like,
mean?
I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with somebody where you guys have had the disagreement or you had a fight or whatever it is, and then you and them try to have a conversation. Like you're like, you know what, I want to reach out and I want to have a conversation with this person, and I want to make sure that we can kind of mend ties. And then you try to explain what you said. For example, yeah, you're like, listen, bro, in all honesty, I don't really care about the situation anymore. Wait, so that means you don't care about me? Oh, here we go. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All they can hear is what things that reaffirm how they feel.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times with these groups that they feel like they're being attacked, sometimes they don't look at things logically, they look at things emotionally. So they're going to be looking at things to reaffirm what they believe about the person, more so than going, okay, let me take a look at what he's saying holistically, and let me just kind of, if I can see sequentially this guy's been speaking about things in a manner where it's negative and he's basically affirming that we should be acting a type of way to this group of individuals, then we should go, okay, you know what? He's a write-off. Get rid of him. Yeah? But if he's like, listen, I'm giving these tips to guys because of this, and because what I've seen, and like for example, yeah, I know he's done things that there's video evidence of, and which is probably things we shouldn't be saying on a podcast.
Who's this?
especially
Who's
from
this?
our
Is this
audience.
Tate?
Tate,
Yeah.
like he's done things that I completely disagree with,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, why the hell is that even on the internet in the first place?
Yeah.
But as with like, you can't really like, unless he's done things that are unforgivable. Like, we're talking the P word, the R word, you know, all them ones there, the things that are like, there's no two consensual adults
Not a conversation.
who have made a decision to do this. So, for example, if he I'm talking about the situation where he's beating the girl up in the video.
Oh,
Yeah.
that video was
It's-
taken out of context as well.
Do you know
the
what I
girl
mean?
Came out.
Whoa. There's a video of him beating up a girl.
Yeah.
But it's
These years ago, and
Years
that's what
ago.
the people
It's
have brought up. Yeah.
People, yeah.
it's kind of like a, but how do I say it? There's two consensual adults
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
making a decision.
Yep.
Maybe that shouldn't have been recorded. No, actually, no, it shouldn't have been recorded. Let me say that. That shouldn't have been recorded.
Or it should have not been released at all. So maybe privately.
Maybe it was leaked. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that shouldn't have been recorded. Let me just put that out there. What he does with another adult in their spare time in their own room, bro, you do what you want. Yeah. Did he ever advocate for that after it? Like, from what I know, from what I've seen, he never went out and said, you know what, all girls like this.
Do
That's your
this.
missus.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Mm.
Although he did do the action, it's a bit techie, still, but like, like,
It's one of those things where, you know, like when you say there's like two sides to a story, there's like my side, your side, and the truth. And
Yes.
then because it's so far, it's so back in the future, and we only see short glimpses of whoever it is explaining it, we don't really know the truth. And we kind of won't ever know the truth. We only hear the sides of the story. But from what Ahmed, you were saying, he's spoken about it,
Hello.
like
Yeah.
you've heard.
Yeah. Yeah. There was. He said this is between me and her. It was a consensual relationship, and that we agreed to do this kind of stuff, which is it was their kink, right? That's what he called it.
God
And then
damn,
the
that
girl,
word just
the girl came out like she did an interview. Somebody interviewed her. She's like, yeah, I agreed to this, doing this, that, and stuff. Like him beating me up and stuff. This is what I like. So like you can't base off a person from that video without actually knowing what's actual happening there.
yeah.
If the girl came out and said, "Oh, this is not what I consent to," and I'm happy somebody brought it up, and I can stand out, halas, fair enough. But but there's the
This is the thing. This is why it was techie. That's the only thing that I've seen from like that's the only thing that I've seen from him that I'm like
Yeah.
from what I've seen. Like obviously this guy has
Like big enough to get cancelled kind of thing.
yeah.
But Chris Brown didn't get cancelled, like
after
really?
Rihanna.
Cancel culture wasn't there.
You know what I mean?
I believe they suppressed him. 100%. That guy.
Oh, he got
Oh,
banned
Kevin
from
Hart
coming
got cancelled like
No,
8 years
yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, come on, bro.
But like I believe Chris Brown could have been not Michael Jackson level. No, I'm not gonna say that, but he could have been close to Michael Jackson level.
Chris Brown.
The
Oh,
music
yeah, of
changed.
influence.
The music
No,
changed.
100%.
And
No,
he was never.
But like there's Michael Jackson and there's everyone else.
But
though.
Michael Jackson
No,
wasn't.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying an icon of his era.
Yeah,
100%
it's true.
he
Oh,
could have been.
Everyone
yeah.
wanted to be Chris Brown.
Okay. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he bashed his missus. I was like, right,
I think so. It wasn't more so Chris Brown. I think it's who he bashed. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, if it was a
But-
random girl, it would
that's
have
a
been
part
different.
of it. That,
Yeah, it was. Come on, it's
Yeah.
Rihanna.
But he's saying he got suppressed where he couldn't reach his peak.
So that's kind of like it's had
he
his
done well
effect.
for himself post that. Well, like, he's come out some bangers.
But like when I see things like that, I'm just like, you know, you watch that story. I don't know if you watched the documentary of Chris Brown talking about the situation.
Nah.
Have you ever
I
watched
watched
it?
the Kevin Hart one about the apology, but not Chris Brown.
That old documentary.
Yeah, it was like 2014, I think, or something like that.
Bits of it.
And even that, bro. See how you like? Not a lot of people would have watched it or heard about it. That's
Yeah.
a topic that would have been big.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For sure.
maybe also that gives the full context. But I just hear the story on the news,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah,
Chris Brown
exactly.
is X.
Yeah,
facts.
like that. Get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I completely disagree with.
Hey guys, I heard most of you aren't subscribed, and you know what that means? We're gonna stop uploading FairDinkum podcast until every single one of you subscribe. That's 80% of you that listen weekly. So I'm just gonna wait here until you subscribe.
That's a long way. Where did I guess? Because obviously you can see like people have been doing I guess bad things for a while now. Where do you think the start of cancel culture, or like the started? Because you got like Kevin Hart, you got your Chris Browns, you got your you got all these notable cases of people, but you realize like as time goes on, the less the person does, the more atrocious the actual act is. You know what I mean?
Like, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, what or like
Because like Kanye, for example, like I don't want to get into this. I don't understand the whole context. Like from what I know and all that kind of stuff. Like early on when he was making his anti-Semitic comments, you know what I mean? All I saw was he had a difference of opinion. Yeah, it wasn't inciting violence, anything along those lines, type of thing. You know, but just for that one comment, because you can't scroll on Twitter, you can't scroll on TikTok, you can't scroll on Instagram without there being Kanye on there. You know what I mean? But then you compare that to, I guess, like Chris Brown 15 years ago, two different situations.
Have you sorry, just on the context of
Yeah.
Kanye, have you listened to his Piers Morgan?
Love it. I love it.
Bro, Piers Morgan didn't let him talk. He was
love
getting cut.
Yeah, but Piers Morgan's always like that, bro.
But
'cause
he's like, can I finish?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
But
I
you
was
see
like-
Piers Morgan against Tate as well.
Yeah,
Like,
even that one.
It's like people are
Bro,
losing
shout out
respect more for him now.
Huh?
People are like losing respect more from that and respecting
Yeah.
like Kanye.
If
or
you had
Tate.
respect for Piers Morgan, then wallah, you don't even have self-respect
Yeah,
to begin with.
Come on. He walked
You know?
out of his own morning TV show because somebody gave it to him. Come on.
No,
Like,
no,
Nah,
you know
but
what
you
it
see
was
Kanye's
about, Meghan
comment?
Markle,
Yeah.
that's what.
Do you see Kanye's comment? The funniest one, and I think it's gone viral at the moment, was the one where he's giving him like financial advice or something like that. Have you seen that
Yeah.
that clip?
Oh, he's like, maybe you should listen to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much money do you have?
He goes, he's like, why are you giving financial advice then? And he
Yeah.
goes,
and Pierce's face.
No, I think he was saying like, oh, if you could listen to this piece of advice, I'm trying to give you some advice so you can like, you know,
Yeah.
better yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, he's talking about the situation, how he spoke or how he dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to him, listen, how much money do you earn?
yeah.
But
And he goes, why are
Kanye,
you giving me financial advice?
I'm going to be honest with you, Kanye looks a bit unhinged now.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
the
like-
next bit I was going to get into.
I'll be honest with you,
Health
the
mental state.
Kardashians,
Yeah.
Kardashians, that's the kiss of death, bro.
They turned on him hard.
No, not about turning on him.
Yeah.
I believe anybody in and around the Kardashians,
Yeah.
anybody who's dealt with them or been in relationships with them, they gain something called the kiss of death.
Oh yeah, 100%. Look at your
Oh.
boy Devin Booker, fam.
Bro.
He got smacked in the playoffs last season.
Well, he got absolutely a bit, bro.
Bro, he
Doncic
broke
is
up
his
with
dad
Kendall.
now, bro.
He broke up with Kendall,
he did?
and then Luca basically annihilated him
Oh,
What do you mean?
in the playoffs last
Oh,
season.
did he break up with her last season in the playoffs?
Yeah,
Is he still with
I
her?
thought he was still with her.
I thought it was
Nah, they're not together. They're not
Are
together.
you sure?
I'm 100% sure. Kendall and Devin.
That's why he's dropping 34 points a game.
Wait,
now he's
But he's
better.
fighting Klay Thompson.
Wait, now she's with Jason Tatum right now, isn't she?
I don't know. Probably. She
Oh,
might be with
get Jason Tatum out of that, bro. That's,
Jason Tatum has a kid.
He has a kid,
He has a kid?
but it's probably baby mama or something like that.
Yeah.
Like your boy Blake.
Yeah, but going back to Blake.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Going back, let's go back to the Kanye thing. Let's not speak about that topic. What's your thoughts on like his like you know how often people say I guess like genius and insanity are like next door neighbors and all that, and they claim that Kanye is both a genius and he's insane. Do you think people are using his whole like insanity or his mental health as a way of just like shutting him up, or do you guys believe he's actually like not there?
Do you know what's tough with a lot of these guys though?
From what you see, by the way.
Because they can be a genius in one area. Like, for example, in music
Fashion, yeah.
and fashion or whatever. This guy could be the man. But then when they start to expand into other areas, into politics, into giving people life lessons and influence in everyday nature, that's when it gets affected. It's like when we watch The Last Dance and Michael Jordan was the GOAT. He was about to win his 6th championship. Basketball, everything basketball, go to Michael Jordan. Then they start telling him to get into politics. Because that's not my thing. What am I going to say?
GM as an owner of the Charlotte Hornets.
And that's where it's like he didn't want to, he knew his area. He goes, this is my area. But now everyone, especially like, for example, LeBron's good at it. He's more than an athlete. He expands into all his areas and he does pretty well.
He can read,
Other people are like, hey, I want to do the same because my career might only be this long. And not just in sports, but in music or whatever it is. And that's where like Kanye and they want to.
You know what I've noticed though? A lot of these arguments and a lot of these things, they're all subjective opinions, bro. Like, for example, I don't know if you've ever seen high fashion wear. There are people out there who I swear by Balenciaga or whatever it is.
Like Bilal Ali.
And I'm looking.
Sorry. You want the... Sorry.
That's class.
Only because you wore it the other day with this suit, yeah.
Religiously, no,
Alhamdulillah.
100%.
It was very nice.
Does he actually listen to them religiously?
Yeah,
Well,
bro.
like, top.
So he tells me things that have happened in the podcast that I forgot completely about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he has the shoes. It suits him, honestly, you know?
I don't know if you've
Oh,
ever
the one he was wearing the other day?
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know if you've seen the humans that line up for Balenciaga parties. Some guy went outside and he recorded them. But these people look ajib, man. Like some guy has no eyebrows because he shaved them off. One guy has purple tips in his hair. One guy's wearing a sweater sleeves that are dragging along the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these people. I'm like, are they lying to themselves or do they genuinely believe that this looks good?
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe,
have you looked
bro. I can't believe bro, you can't look at me and tell me you believe it.
Have you looked at fashion shows? Like, not Asia, but when she posts the other ones, and I swipe to see other companies, like the
fashion.
obviously, I don't know female industry. Like, I can't say what's nice, but I look at it like even when you see like when Kim K wore the full black, covering her whole body.
Oh, Kanye always the thing on his head, bro. Like, what are we doing
I
here,
thought she was
bro?
oppressed.
Because
And then,
Melbourne Fashion Week, every year that I've been, cuz there's always that one that's like, I guess that's nice and it's appealing to the eye and it's like decent. It's like, okay, cool. I can't see the creativity in it, but I guess there's some sort of creativity in it. And then you've got one that's like very far left. You see the Balenciaga bag that they came out with? It's like a handbag, but then it's got like a sock for the hand to go into. You get what I mean? So
you can grab stuff out of it.
No. So like, just imagine a normal handbag. This is the handle. You put your hand in, then it's like that. Yeah, you walk with it. Yeah. So where that handle, where your hand goes into, it's like the shape of an actual hand,
Like a,
So it goes into your whole
like
arm.
a sleeve. Like that's
So
it.
so you can basically hold your purse like that.
It's not a handbag, it's a sleeve bag.
It's a sleeve bag basically. You put your whole sleeve into it, all
You're
that
taking
kind of
the
stuff.
piss, bro.
But the thing
I'm
is,
sorry, that whole fashion industry's taking the piss.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
nah, come on, bro. It's creative.
reckon they're
It's
taking the
art,
piss?
bro. That's
Bro,
what they
come
say.
on, bro. If I dress
It's
up as a
creative and
chair
art.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I go around saying, bro, but listen,
Yeah.
I'm different.
Yeah.
That's fashion.
Yeah. True.
Come on, bro. You're taking the piss.
I'm telling you right now. See how?
Taking the
Wait.
piss.
So like, you see all like the Gucci and the Balenciagas how when they have those creative clothing, you don't see them in the street. Even if you go to like the high retail stores or those people where they actually spend money,
Yeah.
you don't see them what they're actually creating. They're just doing like, what's the point? If you're gonna create something, you want people to like it. I want to buy it. I'm gonna wear it. But that's what's the time.
But you know those type of like drops,
brands.
they're very selective. Like
Yeah,
they're for a
exactly.
certain they're for like a certain niche of people. They're not gonna put it out in Kmart and then
And,
like
I'm
wholesale.
and scarcity for them is more important than actually giving
Yeah.
people a wide.
It's even who made it. Like who made your dress.
Yeah.
It's
Bro, I
expert from-
personally like some drops. I'm not gonna lie to you, but then there's the ones where they just go a bit too far.
But
And
some-
sometimes I think to myself, sometimes this is not all the time. Are we being that generation where you know how like over time there's like cycles with fashion? You know, like sometimes fashion goes forward,
Yes.
and then it also regresses
Trends.
back to like I guess the
Trends, yeah.
vintage. Yeah, it's like natural trends type of thing. You know, are we in that environment where we're looking at people and being like, we're only hating on them because it's not our norm?
You know. What's it? Go.
Nah, I just know.
Hey,
Like,
by the-
it's
by-
like when people
By the way,
say.
the example that I'm using, I'm not talking about the chairs and the sleeve bags.
Cheers.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's fashion. It's when people try to have fashion now for we'll say like in 5 years, like future how fashion will be in 2027, 2028. They try to wear it now. It's like what people say. I think about I say the Japanese, the people they say they're ahead of fashion, and you see the Japanese students at university. Do you remember what they used to wear? Like they would wear clothes, and then in Australia, it's like that's not a norm, but they proclaim an idea, or at least I heard that's what a lot of them say. Like this is what fashion's gonna be like in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what these fashion shows are doing. But I look at it and I'd say, you couldn't catch me dead in half these stuff. Like even
Maybe even all of them.
yeah.
You never know because, like, for example, like I was looking at a retro.
Nah, I
video.
know some of them. I'm not wearing them. Ever. Like, come on, man.
There's some you could say that you've hopped onto those trends as well, bro.
Look,
you know?
Because I wear trackies and a jumper like every day.
you know, like there's things that I've seen. Like for example, you're talking about how the way past trends become future trends and so on and so forth. Obviously, there was Champion at one stage, and then there was obviously like remember how Champion was dead.
Yeah,
All of a
even
sudden,
in
everybody
sport,
started
even in
wearing
sport,
Champion.
baggy
Or Kappa.
shorts.
Bro,
Or Kappa coming
Kappa
back
had
as
its
well.
thing. Baggy
Yeah.
shorts, obviously, yeah. And then you also had Nike Dunks, bro. Do you know how dead Nike Dunks were 2 years
At the
ago?
time.
Nobody look at them, bro. You got all these skaters that are
Cause-
just wearing it, and they.
We were buying Nike Roches at that time at our age.
Hey,
now that Nike
alhamdulillah, we
Dunks
got
came
off that
back.
Rocher run wave.
Huh?
There was a time, remember, there was a time when Rocher runs were,
Yeah.
The one. This is the
You know, Nike recently tried to bring back the free run.
alhamdulillah, they
The
didn't.
free run, not the Roche run, the free run.
Oh, the free runs, yeah.
They looked alright. Like
Yeah.
I remember they put out like the black, the white, the camo and whatever, and I was like, I would kill someone for these back in the day, man.
Mm.
Like we're talking 2012, 2011, bro. Everyone who who had feet wanted these shoes.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
And
true.
now, bro, no one to spit on them.
But
Yeah,
these are
100%, but-
normal things. These are different color shoes, little tick in a different spot. The type of fashion that I'm seeing on social
You're
media
talking about high fashion, yeah.
is completely different.
Yeah.
Like that, it's more of a joke to me, at least because I'm not in that industry. You know,
Yeah.
there was a documentary I saw the other day. It's called "The Price of Everything," and they pretty much go and they show how art gets its value.
Yeah.
And they'll pretty much show you'll see like a wall, and they'll have a guy will be painting like 10 paintings at one time, and he just put different color paint on it. And you talk about how he strokes it and how this and that.
Pause.
And he goes, a lot of these I don't even know, like I'm just putting in the effort. And then the value comes depending, it's like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The word of one person that can change the whole perspective.
and literally it's like
Yeah.
he does a painting, he goes, I've never made money in my life, but now I just sold this for 10 mil.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like,
it's these kind of things with high fashion. It's like one person,
yeah,
you know.
You see it in these celebrity like house reveals and stuff,
bro.
bro. You go
Oh, I
into
watched
like
The Block, bro. Trust me, I know.
yeah,
The judging days piss me off so much. It's not even funny. If
judging
I hear
days.
the word contemporary one more time, I swear to Allah, I'm gonna shoot someone.
yeah,
Bro, they're pissing me off, bro.
yeah.
Every single time. This is very contemporary, very country, bro. Come on,
Cause you
man.
pulled that off a little too well, bro.
bro. They say the same thing every room that they like.
It's not,
Very modern. It's very.
it's not enough
contemporary at the same
country.
time.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, bro. You're saying two adjectives that work against each other.
Yeah,
the worst is I say with my family every single week. It's like I didn't think this will go, but it just works.
Yes.
And that's all they say every single week, you know. And that's a lot of the designs.
They rinse the same line every single time, bro. I'm like, bro, these guys are getting paid absolutely crazy money for nothing, bro.
yeah.
But like,
Just to say 2 words.
wallah, bro, it's actually annoying. But you were
Yeah.
talking about something before. What were you
You're
saying
talking about
before we
cancel
talk-
culture when it started.
Oh, the Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Insanity,
No, I'm
genius.
not trying to sit back to that, but somebody said something just now about high fashion or something like that.
That was that show.
Oh, when he goes back, it regresses and the whole vintage thing trends.
Yeah, I'm guessing people just work with waves, bro. I'll be
Yeah, they
honest
do.
with you.
But
I
But
don't
have
even
we
think
went
Like,
back
for
in
example,
fashion like to the we might go through trends like certain style stuff, but we don't like go completely back to like the 80s or the 90s what they used to wear.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
certain
Some
things,
people
but
do.
Yeah, like
Certain
the
brothers-
some people do, like,
the
for
mullets
example,
and stuff.
with yeah,
Oh,
the mullets
yeah.
is a good. That's
Yeah,
a
we
good
gotta
one,
leave that,
yeah.
bro, in 1980.
Like
bro.
even
That's
like
filth.
even like with technology as well, you know, you got like AirPods coming out, everything's like wireless now and all that kind of stuff, and you got people trying to stand out wearing wired
Wired.
earphones, you know,
I've
like the
seen
old
that.
ones that you actually
Oh,
connect
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
really a
yeah.
thing anymore type
Yeah.
of thing, you know, and it sort of costs money. It's like I guess when everyone had wired headphones, everyone used to have the big, what do they call it?
Speaker.
Yeah.
The big
Oh,
speakers.
the
they used to-
stereos.
yeah, the stereos
Yeah.
type of thing. You know what I mean?
Whatever it is.
I hear
Yeah.
people talk about it with phones. They're like, phones started big, and then they tried to get as small as possible. Like, oh my god, they're fat,
Compact.
and you know we want it to be small. And it's like the little Nokias they just open up. It's like that's what you want, and then now they're going back to big.
Mhm.
It's like the bigger, the more expensive.
How about the
You know?
17, 18-year-old boys all getting perms now? That
What?
stinks, bro.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
sorry.
on TikTok, yeah.
You seen the
Is
perms?
that? No.
Oh,
boys
All
are
of them,
you-
you know, how you see all these guys that have curly hair now.
Oh yeah, that's the style.
Like-
The long
Like-
curly hairs, like
So-
like a rough.
oh,
There's like
style-
Bryce,
style,
what's
style.
his name? You know, the
Bro.
TikTokers.
Yeah.
You know how they have those TikTok boys, so they have all these curly hair and they do
Bro.
the-
on the
the
front,
shorts
and it goes
stuff.
like halfway through the forehead. and
Like,
straight on the
like
side.
the fringe.
Yeah.
Like they get the fringe with it too.
Curly.
But they just get perm. You know
Yeah.
what a perm is? A perm is where you curl your hair, basically.
It's when
Yeah.
they put that little block in and then fold it up. And
Yeah, that stuff. They actually
White
go out
people
and get
things.
perms, bro.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, bro?
Do they record themselves with the actual perm in that?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because TikTok, like that's
The
the.
lack of men in
That's how
society.
the
It's,
boys
it's
look
like you know when like guys get all the compliments online, like because guys don't get compliments as frequently. It's like you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's a guy who's you know
they
the
all-
girls are all crushing on, and then it's
They all
So
get-
everyone just copies the guy.
yeah.
Oh, bro, it stinks, bro.
Mm.
It stinks so bad.
It's all
What are you
validation,
getting perms, bro?
bro. It's all validation.
Yeah, you better
Like-
watch your brother, yeah. Go
My
check
little
his
brother has curly hair naturally.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he
what they-
washes
that's what
his
they
hair,
say.
comes out. He has hair. Wallah, I wish I would have bagged him.
Yeah.
But like this guy has naturally curly. My younger brother has straight hair. Colours.
Mhm.
That
But
one's
you got a younger brother, like watch his, check his room. He might have some perms hiding in the cupboards or
bro,
under
he
the
sleeps in
bed.
the same room as me, bro. If he's hiding the perms, I don't want to play hide and seek.
And then
with
all
that
you
guy.
see is Suhail coming on an episode of the perm. Like, what?
He's like,
G'day,
"Man,
guys.
It's just
I
stinks,
want
bro.
to shift the conversation back to Andrew
Oh,
Tate.
damn. You allowed to shift conversation?
Yeah, I'm allowed, bro.
Okay.
This is gonna be the first time in a while.
I'm gonna
that's for sure.
I'm gonna check if you texted me to ask permission.
Don't do that.
Yeah, like
But,
Shift it.
Andrew Tate becoming a Muslim.
Oof.
What do you guys
Yeah,
think of that?
heavy.
We talked about a lot of the things they done bad. Do we forgive? His
Wait.
transgressions?
Well, it's not our job to forgive.
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, is that like,
what's-
but like,
yeah, what's the
because
question?
TikTok, social media, like
Yeah.
they're not forgiving him. Like, oh, he's used to
Yeah,
do
let's
this
talk.
and
Let's,
that.
okay, I get what you're getting at. Let's talk
Yeah.
about, I guess, the backlash that he got for converting to Islam. Wait, is that actually official, by the way? Like,
Yeah,
is
it's
it official?
official,
Official?
Yeah, he said it
Apparently, he was
himself.
standing next to a sheikh, so it is official.
Yeah.
No, but he said it himself in his like.
Okay, let's presume he is
Didn't
Muslim
know
or
you.
whatever. A lot of the backlash out there, I guess, now is he's using that as a form of gaining more clout.
oh.
That's
You
how
know?
people are.
So
like,
like-
how we first became popular in our eyes, it was because of that statement. You remember on Fashion Fit, That was like the first time we
Islam
ever saw
is gonna
Andrew
be
Tate.
number one.
It was like pretty much because he was complimenting Muslims, but he goes, "I'm a Christian."
Yeah. Fact,
that
fact,
video was the first time I really found out who he was.
But I'm gonna be honest
And
with you.
then-
After that comment, I did not look at Muslim channels the same way ever again.
Which one?
Oh, bro, you know what, man?
Was it now or back then?
Like,
Oh,
like
'cause
after
they
that,
gassed it
after all they
What-
did was rinse that. All I did was see
What Muslim
Islam
channels?
channel and this kind of thing, bro. They're just like
They were talking about
Christian
Andrew Tate.
admits that Muslims.
clip.
You got the solution. In this, if we've got the Muslims have the solution to everything. If your wife is being disobedient, they've got the solution. I'm like, bro, why do we need blokes to reaffirm our religion? But our religion's being right from the start. Why do I need this bold bloke to come on a podcast to make me feel good about myself? Me go, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
what are you talking about, bro?
100%.
Like,
100%.
you know, for example, George Clooney says all Muslims are good people. Oh, thanks, George Clooney.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you forget everything he's done. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, like even, and this is the thing as well. Like with Andrew Tate, I guess it's a bit more different because if he did accept Islam, then we have no input in it whatsoever. You know what I mean? Because he comes into it with a clean slate, whatever, and that's good for him, type of thing. But I think the thing that I hated about it the most was, I guess, seeing on Twitter people saying stuff like, he'll say something, someone will like share his thing or whatever, like, welcome brother to Islam or something like that. You know what I mean? And someone will be like, oh, we don't accept you.
Cause you don't understand.
And then there's good examples that have been given. Well, like some people have given good da'wah in this form as well, because you got guys like Umar ibn Khattab.
Oh
you know
my
what
God,
I mean?
don't say it. Oh no,
You know?
bro.
What?
Don't, please don't.
No.
Go, go.
No, people should know this because, you know, they're committing a sort of kufr in a sense where they think they have the power of accepting people into Islam.
I can
or
use
whatnot.
Abu Sufyan as an example. That's a better example.
You can use all these examples.
Yeah.
A lot of the Sahabas, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's, I guess, who you idolize with that. Yeah.
What were you saying about Umar ibn Khattab? What was the conversation here?
He
Like,
went to kill the Prophet.
No,
and
no,
now look,
I'm not
now he's
using.
buried next to him.
No, I'm not using the Umar ibn Khattab example. I'm quoting people on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. When they use the Umar ibn Khattab example, which I think is a good example in the sense that, okay, cool, the Sahaba had a past. This guy's accepted Islam. If he's accepted Islam, he's come on a clean slate.
Yeah.
Let him push forward as it is, type of thing. You know what I mean? You have no input into this.
You know what I don't want, bro?
What?
I shouldn't say anything now because you gotta wait for him to.
Yeah.
Is it on? Is it on?
Little camera issue.
Camera issue.
Mm.
Oh, battery. But one thing that I don't like is the comparisons between somebody like Andrew Tate and Sahaba of
Yeah.
that stature.
Mhm.
You know, because we're not talking about, you know, Umar around the block. We're talking about Umar ibn Khattab. He's buried next to the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, yeah?
Yeah.
And when we come out and people are saying, bro, this guy's gonna be the Umar of our ummah, bro, chill.
No, but that's
Do
not
people
what
say that?
Some
No.
people said that, bro.
Like, hey, they're keen.
saying that?
Some
Those
people
are
said
deluded guys, man.
Some people
Nah.
said that.
Nah, I get it because it's like
Yeah.
there's I've seen like memes back in the like
Oh.
you know there's like if these two people become Muslim, like they'll show a picture of Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate or this person or that person, and like the deen can like you know really become strong again. It's like
I was
Yeah.
thinking
You know
that,
what I mean?
but
I feel
Yeah.
like
to
you
think
guys
that,
are on
but-
those like WhatsApp type of Twitter side things.
No,
you know,
no,
the
no,
ones
no.
with the auntie sharing stuff.
No,
You know
no.
where they combine two
better than who
photos.
Andrew Tate is.
Where they combine two photos together.
Bro,
But
listen.
going back to what you said about Twitter, how they responding to the backlash of Andrew Tate becoming a Muslim. There's
Say
one tweet.
backlash or backlash?
I thought he was going to say black lives.
Backlash. But this one tweet. Allah, he.
Don't say it's the girl that said she's gonna leave Islam because if it is, don't talk about it.
But she said that, and she actually did it.
Oh, that
No, she
tweet.
didn't leave
She
Islam.
did,
That tweet. Bro,
She
listen,
did
bro.
like
you know
the
this stuff,
confirmation,
you know,
like in the thread.
you know this stuff,
She actually did, cause she said, if he becomes a Muslim, I'm leaving Islam. I'm gonna join Buddhism.
bro. Can I?
And then what she said? And when the shit, when I said somebody requoted it, if he posted that, then you already left Islam before you even posted it
100%.
straight away. I
Bro,
was like,
what do you
"Allah,
mean your
that's
thing is
hot."
contingent on
left.
something?
Yeah.
Bro, this guy's attention seeker, bro.
Allah.
It's a girl.
This chick, whatever it is, bro. She's an attention seeker.
So
That's all
hot.
it is.
And then you got all these look, everyone can have their own opinions, but you can't judge on someone who just became Islam, because once you become Muslim, become a Muslim, you have a clean slate.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
He's
Like,
Muslim, he's Muslim. Like,
he's a
you
Muslim,
can't.
Muslim. At the end of the
if
day,
he
you
is-
can't say he can't become a Muslim because he was a misogynist, he was did this and this that. Yani, his past doesn't matter now.
Yeah,
It's what he's going to work towards his future.
To
Well,
some
how is he
people
going to
it
become
does.
a good Muslim?
To some people, his past does matter because it's gonna be there forever because the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
But the thing
And
is,
it's hard when
what
it's
you put on the
Muslims.
internet, it stays on the internet. But
there's the physical realm, there's the metaphysical realm.
Yeah.
In the metaphysical realm of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, if he is a Muslim and that was a sincere
the intention,
conversion,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
who are we to talk about
Yeah.
whether or not this guy is a Muslim?
yeah,
You shut your mouths, bro. Your
Obviously,
guy's
yeah.
opinion doesn't matter. Everybody should not even open their mouth in this regard. Like even me.
But the thing is,
including myself.
imagine now.
Especially you.
But the only reason, the only reason I'm saying this, the only reason I'm saying this now, because if that's the case, if the Muslims who are responding to him saying, "Oh, he can't be a Muslim," so what happens to those who wants to become a Muslim even though they had a bad past? Are they going to say the same thing about him? Can I become a Muslim if people are coming at me for something I've done in the past? How's that fair for those reverts?
Well, let's.
Hey, what do you think of the name Abu Tate?
I heard that.
Huh?
Yeah, I heard that.
Do you know Slim? You know after his fight in whatever his boxing match or whatever. You know how he was Abu Faze or whatever. You seen the fight, yeah?
Was he? Did he call himself Abu Face?
He called Abu Faze because he beat Faze
Yeah.
Temper, you know.
Oh yeah. Abu Faze, yeah.
Abu Faze or whatever, yeah. And then I think he met up with whatever Tate or something like that. And then everyone in the comment, because he took a photo together, it was like, Abu Tate, Sheikh Tate, Abu Tate, Sheikh Tate. These guys need some sort of role model. It's crazy.
But you know the amount of connections. Like I watched Anatomy of a Fighter. They did a series on Islam, like
Yeah.
his last fight, and the build up and stuff. Yeah, and it was just like, cause Islam. There was like 3 fights that all Team Khabib on the day, you know, and you could see these guys now. Like for example, Bilal, the Palestinian fighter, he's now training with Khabib like the last 4 weeks, and you're seeing all these Muslim guys go train with Khabib, and now you see Andrew Tate become Muslim. It's like, is this guy gonna start joining, you know, Team
The Khabib
Khabib,
team.
or he's gonna fight soon? Like he might join the YouTube scene of fighting.
Yeah.
Sonny Bill might do the same. It's like,
Yeah.
are these connections actually gonna happen?
Those two.
Yeah, it's like
true,
subhanallah. It's like,
It's like a small world as well. It
Yeah.
creates a very, very small world.
That's what's amazing about the Muslim community, yeah. And I guess that's what a lot of people who have maybe been longing for that feeling or that brotherhood or that scenario, bro. Whenever they feel, you know, that connectivity with the other Muslim brothers, bro, it's a different feeling. Let's be honest. Like, for instance, Sonny Bill's from New Zealand, bro. Imagine he goes and meets, for example, Mufti Mink, who's from Zimbabwe, and they link up and they're best mates now. You know,
Yeah,
like
true.
like maybe that's what attracted, you know, people, or in this case Andrew Tate to the ummah, bro, because
Yeah,
we're like
100%.
we're ride or dies for Muslim brothers, unless they do things that are outside of the deen or outside the fold of Islam. But we've seen it in obviously the seerah as well. We've seen people that have been considered hypocrites, that have been pretending to be good people inside the Muslim community that are actually not. And what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always do?
What?
He always reveals them.
Yeah.
You always come, bro. You can only lie so much. The
I-
truth always comes out.
I think the tough thing with history is being in the moment, because you don't see hindsight later on. Like for example, we look back. Not Andrew Tate, Allah Alam, what
Facts, bro.
Andrew Tate, Allah Alam, what's going to happen in the future. He might go back to his old ways. He might become a beast that's very beneficial to the ummah. Allah Alam, whatever it is. But in the moment, like Malcolm X, when he was non-Muslim, what he used to do, and then he became Muslim. He was Muslim for like 5 years, but the impact he had. Muhammad Ali was a world champion boxer as a non-Muslim. And then even at the time, people said most people didn't like Muhammad Ali until he got sick near the end of his life.
Yeah,
That's
true.
when people started to like him.
Yeah, true.
Because he was cocky, arrogant, you know, he only cared about himself.
Apparently, he's a womanizer as well. That's why a lot of people are trying to. That's the rhetoric they're trying to push.
There's
It's
always
like-
going to be hate against
But it's like the
person.
idea where it's like
Yeah.
only at the end of your life people appreciate you, and you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
like
yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of thing.
And
So
you're not
Muhammad
appreciated
Ali,
until you're gone, yeah?
yeah, Muhammad Ali had all these years, and it's like, okay, later on he started preaching the deen and he was a good influence to Muslims. But Allah Alam, imagine when he converted, why he converted at the time. It was Nation of Islam. Imagine how Muslims thought of him then.
Yeah,
You
like-
little Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
How is he the Prophet of Allah?
Yeah.
You're worse than non-Muslims because you're believing in this falsehood.
Yeah.
Allah Alam, what happened? I don't know. I wasn't alive then. But just now we look at him and say, damn, this guy was a very beneficial person to the ummah.
You know what this makes me think about? You know how the way there's Barsis's story, obviously, where somebody who lived dedicating his life to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or to the religion that he believed in, and then he ended up on kufr, you know, he ended up bowing to the devil as his last action. And then you've also got, for example, the story of Imam Ahmad when he was on his deathbed, you know, when he's telling the devil, his son's telling him, hey, say the shahada, you know, and he's like, not yet. And his son's like, wow, what's this guy doing, yeah? And then all of a sudden, they realize that he's having a conversation with the shaitan. Shaitan's like, you got me, Ahmed. I couldn't get one over on you. You're too good. And he's like, not yet. Not until the day he dies. That's how that's how we should see everybody's life. Nobody can be considered a write-off. Or I think there's situations where. But then again, like anything besides shirk.
And even us as Muslims, we don't, like, we always say, we don't know how the person's going to end. Literally what you said. Imagine the person takes shahada the last minute. Obviously, we can only judge from someone's outer actions, but our opinions shouldn't be as heldly tight as sometimes as it commonly is.
The man killed 99 people. That, bro, all you hear is stories within our deen, you know, and you just can't help but go, you know what? There's obviously wisdom and knowledge beyond our, beyond we can fathom, beyond what we can fathom, beyond what we can comprehend, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala holds. So who are we to come in and go, you know what? No, this is how we should be thinking, above what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already said.
This guy's bad for the deen. This guy's bad for the Muslim ummah as a role model. Allah alam, it's like the phrase, going back to the Muhammad Ali, it's like, there's Yasser Qadi was saying, it's like, what Muhammad Ali did for the deen, 1,000 scholars couldn't do. And that's like, it's like the, now going to back to the block, Omar and Oz. You know? But I'm serious. We had a guy, we met a guy from Sydney, and he was talking about how Omar and Oz, they get a lot of backlash in Sydney. You know, because Omar and Oz, 2 Muslim guys on the block. But what people see is, for example, why aren't they wearing a thobe? Why are they wearing shorts in summer? Why are they shaking hands with a girl? Why are they swearing? But then, like, to us as a Muslim, like, it's the haram police that we get oftentimes on this podcast.
I hate that word so much, but carry on.
Okay, it's the Muslims that
what's wrong with haram police?
It's so drained, bro.
Like overused.
Oh.
There's crazy
get
haram
into
police
it,
out
but
there,
it's,
yeah, but the term,
I don't like using that word, bro.
the term fits it, bro.
So people have hijacked it that I really.
Oh, the people that have
dislike
used the
it.
word.
But anyways,
I think it's just how Muslims are. We're quick to judging. You know, like I can think of so many references. FuzzTube, when he used to make the videos at the start, and he goes back to reflect on it, he goes, the Muslim community was the most judgmental to me. And that's what it is, I saw the other day Man United, okay? You know how there's, they get like young kids to come walk onto the pitch with you? So De Gea, the goalkeeper, had a Muslim sister with a hijab, okay? 10 years old, Allah. She held his hand. She had shorts on, obviously. She put her socks on top so you couldn't cover it. She was a hijabi. 10 years old, wasn't of age. Everyone agreed she wasn't of age. She was holding hands with the goalkeeper. Every single comment, haram, why is she doing that? And then people are saying, no, she's not of age. They're like, yeah, but you're normalizing holding hands. Now people are going to want to hold hands. And then to the non-Muslims, they're like, this is amazing seeing a hijabi play soccer. I thought girls can't drive, can't work, oppressed. This is amazing that they get to go, and she's a Man United fan, she likes sports. To us Muslims, this is backwards. This is not, we're fearing the future. It's like, subhanAllah, like, we're the judgmental people, and these people are actually doing good for the ummah a lot of the time.
The funniest people, but man.
Yeah.
Wallah,
so what's the term you use for haram, inside of haram, please?
Yeah, what's the other term?
I don't use another term. I'm just saying, you can pretty much describe it without saying haram police.
But these examples are pretty much like people that just...
no,
it's like Sunny Bill with the tats.
With it. That one there, bro. Like, come on,
it's
man.
these kind of things where Sunny Bill with the tats, like, sheikhs come out and say you don't have to remove it. The amount of pain you go through to remove tats.
There's
and
no
it's actually,
point,
and they just get backlash.
So we're more judgmental people than like other people are as Muslim community, whatever people are joining Islam and stuff like that. Like you can't.
Even people that aren't joining Islam, bro, we crucify our own Muslim brothers and sisters. But a lot of the times, bro, I'll be honest with you, there's like this thought process that I'm thinking, like, bro, like, for example, I've read the comment where some guy was like to us, why is Paddington Bear in the background? Astaghfirullah fi Allah. And I'm like,
it's gone now.
Where?
Thank you, brother. You did us well.
Oh, what about the colors?
The colors, yeah. Are you guys?
I was gonna wear nerd socks today. Like the actual the lolly nerds.
But I know what you mean, bro.
It was a rainbow color.
I just go.
Yeah. I heard it the other day. I was at a event, and then someone had like an Islamic question to ask someone. Like, they did something in prayer, and they were questioning it. They're like, "Why'd you forget to do this?"
To you?
I heard this. Yeah.
And then I'm thinking later on, I'm like, subhanallah, like,
I reckon tell it what it actually was, because.
No, but just in case the brother, because I don't
think he watches it. I don't think he watches this podcast.
Don't worry
about the brother's name.
It's more about the idea, like, someone does something, you're like, you forgot to do this. That was your first statement, Sometimes there's language barriers with some people, so it is hard. But sometimes we could have a different approach, like, hey, I realized this. Why do you do this? The person either justifies it or goes, I don't know. Then you're like, hey, you know, I heard X, Y, and Z. They're like, khalas, I'll take that on board. But our first answer is you did something wrong. And then as soon as we all know, as soon as you tell someone you did something wrong, what happens?
You're gonna automatically be on defense.
Yeah, and they're not going to listen. You know, it's like the person when you're trying to fix a problem before and just trying to find loopholes, you're trying to argue back instead of taking it on. Especially with our deen, we all make mistakes, you know? We're not perfect. The deen's so vast, we don't have all the knowledge. So rather try to say, hey, why do you do this? And the person will go, I don't know, that's what my dad does. It's like, khalas, you know? Then it's like, okay, you know?
Change it.
But
Yeah,
when I saw it, I was like, subhanallah, man. It's like the Paddington. Someone could say, hey, why do you guys have a Paddington bear? And then I might give a story for why. And he goes, you know, better not to keep it. You know, we had a guest that kind of gave that stuff. He goes, look at your background and stuff and let it be valuable to you. Like, let there be a reason. Like, let it be a part of your identity. Don't just put stuff for the sake of it, because that's how people are going to view you. It's like, okay, khalas, let me change things. Let me do this. Let me do that.
Okay, well, he's keeping the peace, basically.
Yeah. Well, I moved the duff can. You know, the Simpsons duff can. I never watched Simpsons as a kid,
Oh yeah.
but I thought it was cool. And then it's obviously it's alcohol. It's a duff can. I never watched Simpsons. There was no relation to me. So I said, khalas, I'll remove it. It wasn't that deep to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But then other stuff, like the World Cup, it's
Yeah, fair.
100%.
The World Cup, South
or
Africa.
Mandalorian helmet.
Oh, I still forgot to bring the
Did you
book.
get rid of it?
That's
That's
above
right,
you.
I forgot to
Yeah.
bring the book. I should again.
I saw
Keep
someone
forgetting
trying
it.
it on one.
The Spider-Man book is
Yeah.
very big.
Done.
Yeah.
Mm.
Put it up on that left corner.
I want to know Susa's thoughts on the previous UFC fight.
What's
One
up?
that just happened.
Yeah, he's
Michael
coming
Chan?
out this episode in 2 days, so to chat.
What's
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Domination, bro.
I just want to know his thoughts because obviously he's the biggest UFC fan here.
Just
It was a pretty good
domination,
fight.
bro. This is the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see somebody who thought that his talent, or based off of his previous performances, he was gonna get over the line again because he'd done it like maybe the past 11 times.
Is this
Somebody
Charles?
rested on his laurels. Yeah, he rested on his laurels, and he didn't take Islam serious enough.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev went in there serious, bro. I said $1 million on his fight camp. His brother spent $1 million
Serious?
on his fight camp. Yeah, and if you
Islam
watched,
did?
huh?
Who spent 1
Islam
million?
Makhachev,
What's the like average? Like someone will spend, I don't know, is $1 million a lot?
means a lot, bro.
A lot, okay.
That's a title fight too, is that?
Yeah, title fight as
Yeah.
well. But he's bringing in like top quality people that
Yeah,
can
true.
emulate Charles Oliveira's style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he probably bringing in top quality jiu-jitsu guys, top quality wrestling guys, top quality striking coaches. Bro, I don't know if you watched, but Islam Makhachev's boxing was tight, bro. He was drilled.
Yeah. Especially in the
to
first round.
perfection.
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar,
He's
bro.
hitting his shots, bro.
Like
He was
he-
bleeding already, like in a couple minutes. It's like,
He cracked him with
Yeah.
a nice left. I think it was a left overhand, and he had a gash on his
Yeah.
eye.
Was
But-
that because Islam's boxing was tight, or was it because Charles didn't mind taking it?
Charles is notoriously known for taking it and giving
Yeah.
it back to you.
Pause,
Yeah, 100%.
mm.
But we won't cut that out. But if you look at things for what it is, bro, Islam Makhachev's form was crazy too.
It was. Yeah.
It was, and we're talking a massive improvement from his usual. He's not known as a striker.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Khabib and that, they're not known as strikers. They're known as, you know,
Yeah.
Wrestlers.
I'm gonna do everything I can stand up wise to set up the takedown.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he ended up cracking him, and then that's how he ended up getting on top of him.
Yeah.
He didn't take him down.
Mhm.
Like Islam didn't go into that fight thinking, I'm gonna like just, because if he did, let's be honest, it would have been over quicker.
Yeah, way quicker. Way
So-
quicker.
And he-
100%.
And the crazy thing about it, he tweeted about it, like he predicted his fight. Like,
He
oh,
did?
I'm gonna win.
Charles?
Yeah,
Or
no, Islam.
He
Islam
said,
did.
Serious?
He
"Fifth
did
round."
predicted like, oh, round 3, I'm gonna take down this guy.
Yeah,
I'm
but
didn't even last that long.
Yeah,
UFC round 2 against the best
But-
submitter in the
Wallah.
UFC, and he
Oh, he's not the best. He's
the
a black
most,
belt.
the
He's a
most,
black
he's got
belt.
the most submissions in the
Yeah,
UFC.
yeah, he's-
so
yeah.
it's like numbers
Yeah.
wise,
It's
yeah.
arguable, but like
No,
when it comes
yeah.
when it comes to that 100%, like you,
Mm.
What's
you're
your thoughts on also the obviously the ending to the fight? Khabib gets in the ring, and then after that, Islam
comes out
talks.
getting belted or he's on
Hasbulla was in the ring.
Hasbulla was in the ring with his.
I love it, bro.
He's like a proud mother with his massive iPad.
Did you see the
Sorry, his iPhone.
after the fight or during the presentation of the
Hamza
award,
was having a
them
fight
two
with
were having a fight?
Bakri. Yeah, but
No, not that. I was talking about the.
No, but it's something else happened at that time.
Yeah, but I was talking about the Volk thing. When he called out Volk and he put whatever, the title
Oh.
fight's happening in Australia, possibly if they confirm it.
listen, you're talking about the pound for pound GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not GOAT, but pound for pound best fighter in the world right now. If Islam, which I think he will,
Yeah. He's ranked number 2, yeah?
who, Islam now
Yeah.
ready.
So he's no, so
He,
he's
he was
ranked.
he was
So
4.
Israel's number 2, Islam's ranked number 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was 4 before the fight.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like this. Yeah,
Israel,
I love Volk. I love him. He's bro, actually, you know what? I love his fighting.
Yep.
He's an absolute amazing fighter. Like, if you want to talk about the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC right now, next to Usman, he's...
Yeah, and he puts on a show every time.
He can get you in any direction. He has heart. You know, like you saw, he had Brian Ortega had him in a choke, and his head was turning purple.
Fam, I thought his head was gonna explode.
That choke was in, yeah.
Yeah.
And he still had the ability to weather the storm, come out of it, and win. He's not the most marketable fighter.
Yeah, he's like, what, 5'2" or something?
No, not even about being 5'2". He's just pretty cringy.
Short king though.
Yeah.
Well, like, he's a short king.
we gotta
gotta elevate the ranks.
Yeah. But like I only see it going Islam's way.
But the way Islam dominated, you can't, think
I know what you're
otherwise
saying.
just because he absolutely dominated. It's like every single person said it. It's like it wasn't even close. They said if he's gonna fight 5-10 more times, every single time we'll have the same result.
Yeah.
Like,
So
bro,
because of that, and the fight before that, it was pretty much votes that he won on. So to come now,
And dominate.
dominate,
Yeah,
it's like you have to give him, that.
Was he not the underdog going into the fight as well?
Which one?
Islam, was he not?
Into the fight, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
he was the underdog going into the fight.
He was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oliveira
The thing is,
just-
different people say different things. I heard he was the underdog,
He
but
was
then
the
after
underdog.
watching
I'm pretty
videos,
sure the overall underdog was him, like the consensus.
No, because Charles Oliveira was like, he's already a champion every day. He
but
missed
Islam
weight
has
and stuff
he had
that.
like a 10 winning streak before it. So
Yeah,
he came in with
You know what you're looking at? Because Charles Oliveira has taken the hits of some of the hardest hitters the lightweight division has ever seen.
Yeah.
And he came back and ended up putting them out himself.
Yeah.
That's the reason why everyone was like, we can't count this guy out anymore.
100%.
And you're looking at a guy who doesn't have the same stand-up capabilities as that guy. And also, on the ground, he's a threat. So people are going to look at it and go, and Islam Makhachev hasn't had any fights to kind of go, or
Wow.
to people, like, they haven't seen him fight somebody, they're like, oh my God, like, I didn't expect him to. But in Charles Oliveira's 3 fights before that, every guy they thought was going to absolutely clobber him.
Yep. And there's
He was
opposite.
the underdog at that
And-
time.
Yeah, he made them all look like, he took all their best shots and he finished them.
Yeah.
So that's why people are like, you know what, maybe it's about time we don't.
The champ has a name.
For sure. We going to UFC 284, what?
I want to. I definitely
Get
want
Volk on an episode or something like that? Volk, if you're
Is it
listening.
84?
to. Volk, I love you, but please don't spit in a shoe anymore, please.
That was the...
That
and it
was
wasn't even a
filth.
spit. That was like the gunk that's at the
Because that was
bottom
filth,
half
bro.
of the esophagus,
And
bro.
to advise, bro, I don't know what's wrong with you, bro. I love you, don't bash me, but like,
Hey, is Volk's Australian accent very strong, or is it just because he's around those guys?
Volks,
Yeah.
he's Aussie, bro.
I know he's Aussie, but like...
But he's
is
like
he-
a Macedonian. I think he's Macedonian.
I thought he was Greek. Oski.
He's Macedonian, bro.
Yeah, we can't.
Sorry, Massos are Oski. Greeks are... Like, I don't want to say...
Popolopoulos.
Popolopoulos, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to
But,
say that. I love you guys.
But like when I see those, like the more
It's like Lebos. Lebos have strong Aussie accents too.
Yeah, but no, the reason why is because like we have different times we came into the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they came earlier than us, we came after them,
Yeah.
and then you've got like for example the Somalis and the Eritreans, the Ethiopians, all that. That came later on. That's why you guys are kind of fresh here.
Yeah.
For us, like
Your Aussie accent is... You've assimilated into the culture.
well, pretty much. Yeah, my mom speaks Aussie. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
that drive-through story.
That's
I thought.
majority. But that would be majority of the Lebanese culture.
Yeah,
community as
100%,
well.
yeah,
It'll be rare to
100%.
find someone that's.
And
like,
we've even had time to remix it. Well, how you
As
going,
in-
cuz? Yeah, what it
Yeah.
There's a remix.
disgusting.
Yeah, but
And leave the episode there.
alhamdulillah, I'm not cursed with that. But yeah, no, bro. That
Did you watch Anatomy of a Fighter, the series, or nah?
I watched the episode when Khabib was playing football and was yelling at Hasbulla to come.
No,
whatever.
complete.
And there's that one, and then the one where Bilal Muhammad was training
Yeah.
with them. That's crazy.
Team
bro.
Khabib now is
And Hasbulla getting that deal with UFC for what? Was it 5-year deal or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Did he?
what to do.
It was a 5-year deal. I don't know the amount that was.
as well like an ambassador.
He's a mascot, bro.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's like a
Yeah, yeah.
mascot for, and I think that was genius.
Well, he's Team Khabib. He's in the training camps with them. He just goes around,
Yeah.
you know.
These people hooks for no reason.
And
Yeah.
that's just to promote the fight because once Hasbulla's there, because he's just memeable. Allah Barik, this guy is just like absolutely.
Did you guys
memeable.
watch that video of him with those Aussie guys in the hotel room?
Yeah.
Bro,
Just up. Just up.
Hey,
Yeah.
shout out!
Just up.
shout out to those guys.
Yeah, nah, just up. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
bro.
well,
They're
I
the
shout out to
funniest
them
guy.
because they actually utilized and made a good, funny content
Content
out of
That
it.
is
video out
the
of
bro.
it.
I was
what,
like,
what was the video?
remember how we were sitting down and we were all talking about
You see the JPEG
if
one?
we were to get,
They
he
screenshotted
screenshotted that, bro, that made me laugh so much. It's like a screenshot of this NFT, and he goes to him, "Look, what are you gonna do about it?"
Yeah.
They're basically taking the piss out of him. Like they're having fun, like content, like
Yeah, like
communication.
remember when we were talking about it, I'm like, bro, imagine we do get Hasbulla. Say per se we ended up getting. What are we gonna talk to him about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, facts. That's what Teddy said too. You know, you remember that conversation in regards to it's like you get him, what are you gonna do with him? And that's pretty much everyone that had him on type of thing where they got him. And if no one did actual content with him, like let's say get him on like a podcast or do a photo with him, everyone did the same thing with the punching thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He'd punch you, it'd go viral. It'd punch you, go viral, and all that kind of stuff.
But they actually made use.
They made skits out of it.
Yeah, skits and
Actual
like
skits.
little. It's funny.
Yeah, well, I shout
What
out.
was it?
Just up his name.
Yeah, but that were funny, man. Honestly, I rated it. That's why I was like, bro, that's smart. That's a different way of doing things instead of just having him on.
And also the Nug boys, they actually did it well. They able to
watched
talk
that,
to
yeah.
him. But,
No, but
the
what-
conversation.
It's 20 minutes.
But with one thing he says on like that now podcast as well, because he's a really busy guy. Like to the point where, Hasbullah's very busy. To the point where on the podcast, like I'm telling you, like 12 minutes in, he's like tired, and they're like,
Oh yeah.
like you're tired, you want to go? It's like, no, we got this. And he's actually like physically, you can see that he's exhausted. And then after, this is the best bit as well. This guy does not care about fame one bit. He's living his best life. Like he's got like the most famous people in his DMs. Like you got Drake and this and all that kind of stuff. And then he goes, because they kept on asking about girls. And he goes, you love girls? Are you single? Are you heartbroken or something? That's what Hasbulla says to him. But at one point, they said, Drake DM'd. He talked about how Drake DM'd him. And he goes, what'd you reply to him? He goes, nothing. I don't know him. I don't care. You know? And then
He doesn't speak English. He doesn't know Drake.
exactly. And then on top of that, then Drake DM'd him pretty much saying, hey, I want to see you or something like that. And then they're from Canada, obviously. Yeah. And Drake is obviously big in Canada. He goes, bro, do you know like Drake's like, that's like our guy. Like, he's like a big idol to us or something like that. He goes, I'll have to meet him to see what's so big about him type of thing. You know? So it's like he's living his best life. They asked him like, what do you enjoy? He goes, I just love cars and just destroying stuff.
And helping
Pretty
people as well.
And
He's
helping
married
people.
to-
But
Yeah?
the amount of times
He's
like,
not married.
they've asked
He
him,
hates that question.
No, he
I
doesn't.
thought he
Doesn't
was.
talk about it. The amount of times they ask him, so what do you do with this money? Like what you earn? He's like, I like to give it to
Shout out to
my
him.
people, back to my home, and people like helping out my people and stuff. He's like, okay, but what if you had the money? Like, just say, I give you $1 million and you had to spend it. What would you spend it on? I'll spend it on back home, give it to my family again. It's like, but
The best bit was the schools. He goes, and
Schools.
schools. And then 2 seconds later, he goes, not schools. he goes, why? He goes, I
Out of bad
hated school. Because he got bullied in school. Obviously, he's going to
Yeah.
hate school and type of thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, subhanAllah, this guy wanted to give back every single money. Like, they asked him again, but you have to spend it. Like, I'll spend some of it, hold it for 1 month, then give it to my friends.
He probably knows after like a month he made all the money he needs.
He hasn't
for
bought
life.
anything, bro. This
Yeah.
guy got gifted houses.
Yeah.
He got gifted houses, expensive cars, and things like that. He
Like, you remember the Emiratis love him. They can give him a country if they want. Yeah.
Bro,
I guess it's
You want
their way.
Manchester City here?
You know, but thing is, he's a public figure, I guess, on social media. So it's their way of luring him. Because if everyone's doing the same thing, of like taking a photo with him and doing that, you gotta be out of the box a little bit. So you gotta buy him a massive box.
yeah, bro. Listen, I'm trying to find friends in Emirates as well. Yeah,
Sugar daddy?
Don't you have a friend in thingy, the Emirates?
yeah. Huh?
Faisal? Did you see what happened to Faisal?
I haven't.
You didn't see it?
What happened?
Because his whole studio and his brother's studio got ransacked, bro.
In London?
Nah, say wallah.
Wallah in London. Everything, pretty much a lot of things got stolen. Some of his drivers, window got smashed, and
But he's in Dubai, so it's his brother's place, pretty much.
it was in London. I think it was in London. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be in London.
Yeah.
What's his brother's what's it called? It's not
Omar?
Squarespace.
Omar
What's
Charlie?
his business? He has that
Source.
digital feed source. A lot of that got destroyed as well. So 'cause
Bloody hell,
obviously they
bro.
share like.
I went to the
same
office.
studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So is that the place that we're at, or is that a new
possibly.
joint?
Yeah,
Bloody hell, man.
yeah. Because I don't think feed source or whatever's in. is
They
in-
all right at
is in
least? Did
Dubai.
anyone get
I'll
hurt?
make it easy for them, man.
He goes, these things happen, or whatever. They're gonna find it. The funny thing, he
Mate,
goes,
insurance.
the guy went to the gas station and he bought a donut and some vodka. He goes, he's an idiot, pretty much, because he went to a gas station, used the same, because he stole the feed source credit card or whatever
Use the credit card for
to
the.
scan on it and then whatever. So
What an idiot, bro.
yeah,
But anyways, yeah, like just to end it, inshallah, I reckon we should wrap it up.
Yeah, let's- I'm done.
But
hungry.
thank you guys for watching. Also, don't forget to bring your du'as and your prayers for our brother Billy Dib. He just recently they found out he has colon cancer. So yeah, he got it removed. But inshallah, he's all well and good. Billy's a big friend of the podcast. He's actually a legend. He treated us very well while we were in Sydney, alhamdulillah. And he took care of us, even though he's pretty much up there in the community in Sydney, mashallah. But yeah, and if you're probably not going to watch, but Billy, if you are watching, bro, inshallah, you're in our du'as. And inshallah, you and your family can get through this and you come out the other side even better.
Inshallah.
But yeah, good way to end the podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Listen, hit the notification bell. And did I charge for pressing the subscribe button? I don't think so.
It's for free.
It's for free.
Just press that button, you know? For God's sake, please.
If you